Hey folks, Fernando doing another video for the Modern Survivalist, and a little story time here regarding firearms, borrowing, especially lending guns to people that you may know from the range, and especially using ammunition that is reloaded and it hasn't been reloaded by yourself. So the story goes this way. I'm just back from the range, just arrived a couple hours ago, had a nice time there with my son. We were trying our new pistol caliber carbine, very happy with it, just getting very nice tight groups at a good distance there, and super happy with it. All of a sudden we see that there's a couple of people, some range friends that were getting close and trying to peek at what we were trying out, and of course the obvious thing, do you want to take a couple shots? Do you want to try it out? Sure, okay, sure, of course. A couple shots, boom boom boom, that's great, very nice gun, congratulations, fine, perfect. Next guy, yeah, here I have a couple of my rounds, put those rounds in, and pack, and all of a sudden, click, nothing. And from there on, it was just clicks, and I just couldn't get the gun to shoot after that. And I cannot express how much it pisses me off to have a gun that all of a sudden is not working. So several things there. I mean, these are people that I know from my gun club. I know that they're shooters, but a couple of things regarding lending guns to our people. First of all, make absolutely certain that these are people you would trust with a firearm, because that's literally what you're doing. So if you know them for years, maybe that's a thing you are okay with, and you lend someone a gun. But keep in mind, there's been some horrible incidents in gun ranges with people shooting, madmen, or just people that all of a sudden went nuts and ended up shooting someone. So be very certain of who you're giving a gun to. Besides that, and this is why I was kicking myself for not doing this, when you lend someone a gun, give them the gun and give them a couple of your own rounds. If it's factory ammunition, even better. If it's some of your own reloads, give that person that's going to be taking a couple of shots some of your own ammunition. Why? Because if they shoot reloaded ammunition, you have no idea what's in there. So I came back home just super pissed. There's nothing that pisses me off than having a gun that just doesn't work. I cannot take it. I lose my mind over it, and until I fix it and know it's working properly, I'm just not okay with myself. It's just one of those things that I just have no control on. If a gun of mine is not working properly, I'm impossible until I get that thing working again. So I got it back home, and I'm just trying to figure out what is wrong with it. While driving back home, I'm thinking about, is it the firing pin that is broken? Because it just wouldn't hit. I mean, there was no mark on the primer, nothing, as if it was not hitting at all. And I looked at it, and it seemed like the firing pin was looking a little bit off, like as if it was broken or something, and it just didn't make a whole lot of sense. Why did it break like that? Just a new firearm. It's a pretty good size firing pin that you have in this carbine. So it just didn't make sense. I'm thinking about the spring. What is it that could be wrong? So I get home, I just take away, I remove the barrel, put my finger there in the breech where you have where the firing pin comes through. I put my finger in there, pull the trigger, and I feel the sting of something that just didn't feel. I mean, it wasn't like the firing pin just hitting me, it was something else. And I look at my finger, and I have a small cut, and inside that small cut I have this little piece of metal that I'm showing you guys right here. And let me see if you figure out what this is. Trying to get this thing to focus, and I'm not sure if I'm successful at it. But what ends up happening is that one of those reloaded cartridges had a rather weak primer, which basically blew up and tore through it, and a piece of that primer ended up clogging the hole through which the firing pin goes through. So it was just blocking the firing pin from doing its job. This little piece of metal that was stuck in there from one of those reloaded rounds. So nothing. I mean, once I figured out what it was, I tried. It seems to be working okay. I actually have to fire it to, you know, be assured that the gun is working properly again. But you know, for sure, that's what it was. But it could have easily been something worse. That when you see some of these guns blowing up or something that goes catastrophically wrong, more often than not, it's just bad reloaded ammunition. Over the years, when I've seen like serious shooters have problems, very often it is the reloads that they make themselves. They screwed up, they use improper materials or lower quality, just trying to save a buck here and there. It always is the same old story, or just fiddling with the gunpowder and it's not working well, whatever it is. But it's usually something regarding the reloaded ammunition. And of course, there's people that just get it right and they go through thousands of rounds of their reloads without a problem. But when you're putting a round reloaded from someone else into your own gun, you're taking a huge risk, and it's just not worth it. You know, I use factory ammunition in all my guns. I don't reload. I think it's great for people that do, but I use factory ammunition. So putting a round of reloaded ammo in my gun is just stupid, and I just wish I hadn't done it. But from now on, I'll make sure that, and this is the tip I want to share with you folks, if you're going to be lending, you know, someone who wants to take a couple shots, give them a couple of your own rounds and avoid the potential headache with, you know, unsafe ammunition, or even worse, you can end up blowing up your gun, blowing up your hand, you know, hurting yourself, or even worse. Folks, I hope you got something out of this video. Take care. See you on the next video. Have an awesome day.